I wish I wouldn't have made baseball my everything. Now, I feel lost and purposeless.
We made the mistake of connecting purpose to career, and I think that's when the waters got muddy. It doesn't look how the doctor or the lawyer or the person that's making $250,000 a year looks, so now I don't feel purposeful. Now I don't feel like I have a purpose. And if I do have a purpose, it's not as important as this person's purpose because they make more money.
I think the concept of having one purpose affects the spiritual health of any individual. It limits your ability to explore, and you lock into the performance trap of not accepting failure, not being able to handle failure, not being able to pivot, adapt, not being able to say, man, you know what, this ain't working, let me try something else.
For so long, I believed that if I wasn't on the field, I wasn't anybody. It was my end-all be-all, regretfully.
A lot of us were pushed to go into college because we thought that that was the way. And so it was then, well, what school are you going to go to, and what are you going to go to school for? And those things, you had to choose one. Even graduating from Spelman, when I didn't go to my master's program right after that, I didn't even want to go to the class reunion. Because in the prep of the class reunion, there were people just showing up with what they were and what they have accomplished in between this year or the fifth year reunion, between that gap of time. And at that point, I was on path for me, but the comparison was a little bit weighty, extremely weighty.
We get ourselves into a performance trap and locked into the whole, type A personality. Look, man, I only got a plan A. Ain't no plan B, C, D, or E, F. If plan A don't work, but that comes from those who have made it doing the thing that they love best. And because they became the spokespeople for your purpose, we now think that everybody is going to fit into that same mold, which isn't reality. There are times where you may try 5, 6, 7 different things, and it's on that 7th and 8th that you discover what your true purpose is. But if you stopped at 1 or 2, and because religion told you so, or this purpose-driven mantra told you to, then you may miss out on the very thing that the Most High wanted you to develop and offer to the world.
I didn't know that there were parts of me just waiting to be discovered, or that I was more than just an athlete.
For me, it became something inwardly that I had to figure out. And so weeding through what I liked and what I enjoyed allowed me to be very critical, extremely self-critical in one season of my life that I'm still recovering from, with that self-inflicted, you gotta have this. And it made me rank order what I thought I was good at. And so it allowed me kind of to delay some of the development of my other gifts and talents.
You run the risk of letting yourself down. Having overblown expectations, thinking that things should be a certain way. And so mentally you could find yourself being stressed. You decide you want to go to college, or you want to achieve a certain way in a career, and then it's not going the way you think it's supposed to go because you proclaim that it is your purpose. And then you're going to find yourself stressing, even potentially facing self-esteem or depression issues. And then physiologically speaking, again, like with all stresses, it can impact you, create migraines, ulcers, other things that can come about. So I think it's critical that we be flexible and understanding what that purpose looks like and its impact on us.
And when you think about purpose and when you think about depression, I mean, think about how many times you scrolled on social media in a time in life where you weren't where you wanted to be. And you looked at someone else's story, you looked at what they were doing, and you're like, wow, how come they get to do this? Or how come they're thriving? I mean, we went to the same school, or we had the same upbringing, or we graduated from the same college with the same degree. How come they get to do this and they get to do that? So now we slip into a depression, we slip into a comparison. Now we don't feel as purposeful because it doesn't look like this person looks, and because it's not measured by the money or the materialistic elements.
I'll give you a great example. I made it all the way through college, and then I get to graduate school, and then I have an experience, and then I become a poet. And I didn't realize that I loved poetry, and I didn't realize that people loved my poetry until I started getting these raving responses. And so then I began to realize that part of my purpose, part of understanding why I have a certain voice that projects a certain way. So the elements of these different pieces, why we wait with patience, because it begins to slowly reveal itself to you.
A lot of times what you will discover in the process, if your eyes are open for it, you'll discover a gift, or you'll discover a passion. We're talking about passion and purpose. You may discover something if you're open to receiving the wisdom correction that comes with the failure.
Discover what you like, also what you don't like, because that will filter what you like. And then with that, also not so much as like as in, ooh, it makes me feel good, but those strong feelings that we have about certain things, that passion. We like to think of passion as, ooh, it feels so good and woozy, but passion also can rev up anger and frustration with the way things are. And that thing that rattles you, that gets right up under there, that is a key, a signal to maybe where our purpose is, maybe where our next assignment is, if you will.
I think we have multiple purposes, and I think those purposes are also a byproduct of the stages and phases we are in our life. And so what may be my purpose as a younger person, it may change by circumstances in my young adulthood. And certainly by the time I get to my old age, that purpose may change as well.
We're multifaceted, we're multi-talented, and that we grow and change as we continue to live. And so those things that drove me in my 20s are different from the things that are serving me and that I'm passionate about right now in my 50s.
As we change, as we evolve, our purpose evolves. What it is that I'm created to do, even though it might be centered, let's say, in service. Service can look different. In this season, service may look like creating a documentary. In the next season, service could look like going to the senior home, ensuring that the elders are being cared for and fed correctly.
One of the keys to finding your purpose is knowing who you are. And one of the ways to get to that, in my opinion, in addition to, of course, just living, life and learning from the natural ebb and flows of life, is really be still and tune in to your spirit, those things that bring you joy, the things that bring other people joy, right? That other people benefit from. So one of the keys too is your gift has got to benefit others, right? It can't be something that just you enjoy or just that makes you good. But when you figure out what that is, that people tend to really, really appreciate you for the things that you're able to do for others. And when you find that that's something, whatever that is something that you would do, whether you are being paid for it or not, that truly serves as your purpose. That's your gift.
Discover the thing that keeps you up at night. Discover the thing that you would do for free. Discover the thing that you find yourself most passionate about. And then figure out a way to offer that to the world. What problem does your passion solve? If you can figure out what that is, then you can figure out what your next step is. If you're able to find out, you know, how this passion, I can turn this passion into solving a problem or fulfilling a need out in the space, in the world, that's where you can now take your passion and make it your purpose.
Now, in the quiet space, I'm forced to listen. Not as a player, but as a person.
We have to stop putting purpose into a box, and we have to break it down for ourselves. Okay, in this season of life, am I living purposefully? Do I love what I do? And if I don't love what I do, what do I not love about it? Do I not love it because I don't make enough money? Do I not love it because of the perception that it gives everyone else? Do I not love it because I don't connect with it? And if I don't connect with it, what do I connect with? And if I don't know in this season what I connect with, then let me take it upon myself to go explore different things, to not be afraid, regardless of what the money looks like, regardless of what the perception looks like. Let me pursue what it is that I'm connected to so that I can thrive in my purpose.
Part of the reconditioning process is waiting with patience. Your purpose is there, it follows you, it arrived with you when you came, but it only reveals itself when you are ready to receive it. So what I'm really saying is that some people may never discover their purpose because they've not prepared themselves to receive that purpose. And that's why the quest for being open in terms of that journey of finding your purpose in that particular phase of your life and what that purpose is meant to do in your life, why that's so critical.
Purpose is a consistent cycle of discovering and rediscovering, just like life is the consistent cycle of learning, unlearning, relearning, and social recovery is about reconditioning.